First thing I'm going to do is get out my polymer clay so that I can start making the mushroom hat. I'm just going to do a basic red mushroom hat. Also forgot I'm going to need some white too. I also need to bring out all of my polymer clay tools. I gotta make sure I have my oven baked clay adhesive also. So now what I'm going to start by doing is making the mushroom cap hat in 3 different parts. You'll see why I do that a little bit later, but right now I'm just making the base for that and sizing it up to make it the right size. After I get that the size I want, I'm going to cut more white clay and make the cone part of the mushroom cap. And after I get that the size that I want, I'm just going to smush that on top of the base disc that I made in step 1. And then I'm going to roll the edges of that disc onto the cone section and smooth it out. The reason I did this is because whenever I cut away a little bit from the bottom, it makes it easier to pull it away without taking out huge chunks of clay. And it'll make that cap sit a lot easier on the figure, as you can see here. Now I'm taking my red clay that I rolled out very, very thin on my pasta machine, and like you would decorate a cake with fondant, I'm just going to smooth out that clay onto my mushroom cap. This is just a way for me to save my colored clay. After I cut away any extra, I'm just going to make sure that it fits and looks the way I want it to. Next, I'm going to take my oven baked clay adhesive and use that to connect the clay mushroom cap to my plaster figure. Now I'm just smushing him down and making sure he has a nice tight seal. Next I'm going to roll out some white clay and use that to seal up any gaps and to make the gills of the mushroom cap. Now like a minute ago I was having issues with my oven baked clay adhesive coming out of the bottle, so this is me just showing you that I did that off camera before smushing that snake I made onto the bottom of the cap and smoothing it out. Then I'm going to take one of my sculpting tools and use that to start making the gills of the mushroom. I know right now it looks a little bit like a Santa hat, but after I get these spots painted on, after it's all baked, it'll look a lot more like a mushroom. But next up I am just going to bake him a little bit just to make sure that the oven baked clay adhesive is nice and set, and to make sure that this is a little bit hard just so that I don't break it or bend it, mold it, or anything when I'm working on other parts of this figure. And there he is. This is him after the oven. As you can see, it's all nice and attached and partially baked, so I don't have to worry about it getting any flat spots if I set them down.